Shalom. This is going to be my Bible reading. Left off at Exodus 22. Sound quality is going to not be that great on this one, but that's okay. Picking right up at Exodus 23, reading out of the scriptures as usual. Scriptures. I don't know how much I'm going to get through of this today, but we'll see. So just getting right into it. Exodus 23. Do not bring a false report. Do not put your hand with the wrong to be a malicious witness. Do not follow a crowd to do evil, nor bear witness in a strife, so as to turn aside after many, to turn aside what is right. And do not favor a poor man in his strife. When you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall certainly return it to him. When you see the donkey of him who hates you lying under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving it to him. You shall certainly help him. Do not turn aside the right ruling of your poor in his strife. Keep yourself far from a false matter, and do not kill the innocent and the righteous. For I do not declare the wrong right, and I do not take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the seeing one, and twists the words of the righteous. And do not oppress a sojourner or a stranger, as you yourselves know the heart of a stranger, because you were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. And for 6 years you are to sow your land, and shall gather its increases. But the 7th year you are to let it rest, and shall leave it, and the poor of you and the poor of your people shall eat it. And what they leave, the beasts of the field eat. Do the same with your vineyard and your oliveyard. 6 days you are to do work, and on the 7th day you rest, in order that your ox and your donkey might rest, and the son of your female servant and the sojourner be refreshed. And in all that I have said to you, take heed, and make no mention of the name of other mighty ones. Let it not be heard from your mouth. 3 times in a year you are to celebrate a festival to me. Guard the festival of Mazzat. 7 days you eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you, at the time appointed in the new moon of Abib. For in it you came out of Mitzrayim, and do not appear before me empty-handed. And the festival of the harvest, the first fruits of your labors, which you have sown in the field, and the festival of ingathering, at the outgoing of the year, when you have gathered in fruit of your labors from the field. 3 times in the year all your males are to appear before the Master Yahweh. Do not slaughter the blood of my slaughtering with leavened bread, and the fat of my festival shall not remain until morning. Bring the first of the first fruits of your land into the house of Yahweh, your Elohim. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. See, I am sending a messenger before you to guard you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Be on guard before him and obey his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he is not going to pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you diligently obey his voice, and shall do all that I speak, then I shall be an enemy to your enemies, and a distresser to those who distress you. For my messenger shall go before you, and shall bring you into the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and I shall cut them off. Do not bow down to their mighty ones, nor serve them, nor do according to their works, but without fail overthrow them, and without fail break down their pillars. And you shall serve Yahweh your Elohim, and he shall bless your bread and your water, and I shall remove sickness from your midst. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I shall fill the number of your days. I shall send my fear before you, and cause confusion among all the people to whom you come, and make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I shall send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hittites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I shall not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become a waste, and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. Little by little I shall drive them out before you, until you have increased in your inheritance, and you inherit the land. And I shall set your border from the Sea of Reeds to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the river, for I shall give you the inhabitants of the land unto your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. Do not make a covenant with them, nor with their mighty ones. Let them not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me when you serve their mighty ones, when it becomes a snare to you. Chapter 24. And to Moshe he said, Come up to Yahweh, and you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and you shall bow yourselves from a distance. But Moshe shall draw near to Yahweh by himself, and let them not draw near, nor let people go up with him. And Moshe came and related to the people all the words of Yahweh, and the right rulings. And all the people answered with one voice and said, All the words which Yahweh has spoken we shall do. And Moshe wrote down all the words of Yahweh, and rose up early in the morning, and built a slaughter place at the foot of the mountain, and 12 standing columns for 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent a young man of the children of Israel, and they offered ascending offerings and slaughterings of peace offerings to Yahweh of bulls. And Moshe took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the slaughter place. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said, All that Yahweh has spoken we shall do and obey. And Moshe took the blood of this and sprinkled it on the people, and said, See, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all these words. And Moshe went up, also Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw Elohim of Israel under his feet like a paved work of sapphire stone, and like the heavens for brightness. Yet he did not stretch out his hand against the chiefs of the children of Israel. And they saw Elohim, and they ate and drank. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Come up to me on the mountain, and be there, while I give you tablets of stone, and the Torah, and the command which I have written to teach them. And Moshe arose with his assistant, Yahshua, and Moshe went up to the mountain of Elohim. And he said to the elders, Wait here for us until we have come back to you, and see Aaron and Hur are with you. Whoever has matters, let him go to them. And Moshe went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain, and the esteem of Yahweh dwelt on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. And on the 7th day he called to Moshe out of the midst of the cloud. And the appearance of the esteem of Yahweh was like a consuming fire on top of the mountain, before the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moshe went into the midst of the cloud, and went up into the mountain. And it came to be that Moshe was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. And I'm going to end it there. I will do my best to pick up with 25 next week.